What's up everyone, I'm Tim. This is my channel 40 Times Around, where we talk about everything related to motorcycles, camping, travel, and adventure. And today we're going to talk about 5 beginner motorcycle camping tips. Stick around. So like I said, today we're going to talk about 5 beginner motorcycle camping tips. These are some things that I've learned along the way, and hopefully will save you guys some trouble if you've never been motorcycle camping before. And even if you have, this might be a good refresher, or at least you can enjoy this beautiful scenery of New Mexico as I travel through this state on my way up to Colorado. Anyways, tip number 1 is to test all your gear and your friends too before you leave. Make sure that you've set up your tent, you've maybe even slept out in your backyard, used the sleeping bag, made sure everything's gonna work for you. And just as importantly, make sure that your friends, that you can actually get along with them for the night, because there's nothing worse than being stuck out in the wilderness with somebody that you thought you got along with and really didn't, or maybe somebody that just doesn't have the same expectations as you. So it's really important, especially if you're going on an extended camping trip, that you really make sure that you get to know your friend that you're traveling with, that you guys are on the same page and everything. So gear and friends, make sure you test them out before you go. Tip number 2 is to roll out your sleeping pad and your sleeping bag early. Like as soon as you get to camp, roll those 2 things out so that they have a lot of time to loft. And what I mean by that is fluff up. If you have them in a compression sack and they've been really tightly compressed, it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea when you get to camp. Let those air out, fluff up a little bit. It's going to make it much warmer for you. Okay, tip number 3 is don't rely on having a campfire. It's not always an option. So if you're planning on cooking dinner for yourself, make sure you have a stove. And make sure that you're not relying on a campfire to stay warm, cook, or any of that, because it's just not always a guarantee. You don't want to be stuck without, being able to cook yourself dinner or make some coffee in the morning because you were relying on having a campfire that isn't actually an option. So don't depend on having a campfire. Tip number 4, kind of along the same lines, is bring plenty of food and water. There is nothing worse than being out in the woods, being uncomfortable because you're hungry or you're thirsty. Make sure you have plenty of stuff to eat, even as like comfort food. And have food for every situation too, because if your stove doesn't work for some reason, make sure you have snacks to eat that don't require the stove. So no matter what, you're prepared food-wise and drink-wise. You're not going to be uncomfortable because you're hungry. Tip number 5 is to make sure that you use the bathroom or a bush before you go to sleep. Something about camping, even if it isn't normal for you, you will wake up in the middle of the night having to use the bathroom. And that's no fun if it's cold, so make sure that you take care of going to the bathroom before you get nice and toasty warm in your sleeping bag, because it's not a great feeling to have to leave the warmth and comfort of your tent and sleeping bag to go use the bathroom in the middle of the night. Put your shoes on and all of that. I mean, it's just kind of it's a real pain. Boy, this road is a lot worse than I thought it was going to be. I guess they've been getting a lot of rain here, because this all looks like it was mud not too long ago. Okay, so what good would a 5-tip video be without a bonus 6th tip? And that is to just go do it. If you're watching this video, you're probably thinking about it or considering it. My recommendation is that you just go for it. It's really a lot of fun. You know, it can be such an awesome passion, and I think a lot of people put it off for whatever reason, and I don't think it's really necessary to put it off. So my bonus tip is that if you're watching this video and you're considering it, go for it. Go motorcycle camping, pack up your stuff, throw it on the back of your bike, and go try it out and see what you've been missing, because it's pretty awesome. And you know, you don't have to be on an adventure bike to go motorcycle camping. I only just recently, in the last couple of years, got into adventure motorcycles. Before this, I had a Victory cross country and I camped plenty off of that. Anyways, that's it for me today. I gotta get myself off of this trail before it gets any worse. So I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell if you haven't already. That way you don't miss anything whenever I post something new about motorcycles, camping, travel, and adventure. I am currently 2 weeks into a 6-month motorcycle trip around the United States, going to all the national parks, and I'll be posting vlogs about that, as well as tips and tricks and things like that along the way. So make sure you subscribe if you don't want to miss that stuff. Anyways, I think I should start paying attention to what I'm doing here, so I will catch you guys in the next video. Ride safe. Oh, and now it gets easy, now that I'm done talking. Great. Boy, it's one thing to motovlog, it's a whole nother thing to motovlog down a dirt road like this, which requires so much of your attention. It's hard to really give any of that attention to what you're talking about. It is so beautiful here. I have been, if you're still here, you must be pretty interested in what I have to say. I've been roaming around New Mexico for the last few days, and just kind of keeping that for myself. I haven't really been putting the cameras on all that much. I'm just enjoying the scenery of these beautiful mountains and twisty roads, and it's just a wonderful state. I'm really enjoying myself here, and really, I think it's the land of enchantment, they call it. I think that's what their state slogan is, and I'm on board with that. That definitely, it is a fitting slogan. This is quite a state, and I've had a real blast traveling through here. I got a couple more days in New Mexico. I'm heading up to Colorado after this. Pretty excited about that, and I'm only really doing the southern part of Colorado because, well, it's still pretty cold. It's only mid-May, and so I'm not really expecting to be able to get into like Rocky Mountain National Park and all of that, and all of the beautiful mountain passes that I want to see. So I figured I'll do the southern ones, get those ones off my list, head west and circle back around to get the northern Colorado ones. Anyways, that really is it. I gotta go find Bob. We split up because he's not a huge fan of driving on the dirt. That was fun though. What a nice little backcountry road. It was nice. Alright guys, thanks for hanging out. See you in the next video.